Hey guys, it's me David and welcome back to another review. Today we have the brand new LEGO Star Wars 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. The set number is 75345. It's going to have 119 pieces and it's going to retail $20 US. It'll go on sale January 1st, 2023. I'll have a link down in the description to lego.com if you want to use that. It's affiliated, it helps out the channel, where you can also buy it on January 1st. So, here it is, the much anticipated Clone Battle Pack. It is the return of the Battle Pack with Clone Troopers, which is really exciting. I know a lot of people considered the 501st Clone Troopers set that we got back in 2020 now, and that has now been officially retired. That's gone, and so we're getting Clone Battle Packs now, which, you know, at $20, not too bad. Instead of a $30 price point, you're still getting 4 Clone Troopers. I know the previous 501st set had 4 Clone Troopers plus 2 battle droids. Obviously, it would be great to get some droids in this set at $20 too. There was obviously the price hike last year with the Snowtrooper Battle Pack going up to $20, so that's the new Battle Pack standard pricing, which is unfortunate, but, you know, inflation. So my initial thoughts on this 501st set is it's cool, but it's not really an army builder set per se. Yes, you're getting specialized clone troopers. I should note that these aren't really army building clone troopers. You know, we're getting some clone specialist officers and heavy troopers, and those are all cool, and we actually see them in Battlefront 2 specifically. You don't really see them too often in the Clone Wars TV show, which this is definitely trying to be based off of, because in the background of this 501st Clone Troopers set, you can actually see the planet Urbana, which is actually the first scene that you see in that final arc of Star Wars Clone Wars Season 7, where you see Anakin and Obi-Wan on that bridge. That is Urbana. It's actually a mock that I eventually want to make. So the background is saying Star Wars The Clone Wars, but the figures are saying Battlefront 2. So it's a little mixed here. I personally would really just like to see army buildable clone troopers. So that's shock troopers, maybe a Camino trooper, a plain phase 2 clone trooper, 2 12 troopers that we got in like the ATT. I want a more accessible way to get those very highly desirable clone troopers that you can build in mass armies. This battle pack to me isn't really contributing to that army building that we all like to do with battle packs, but there's definitely some redeeming qualities about this battle pack, and we'll get into them here in just a few minutes during the in-depth, like the fact that we're getting micro binoculars, finally. I do also want to point out that on the bottom of the box art, it does have a logo that shows the 20th anniversary of Clone Wars, and that's actually the 20th anniversary of the original OG animated Clone Wars show, the 2D animated show. It's actually on Disney Plus now, but I'm kind of surprised because we haven't really gotten, I think we only got like one set ever to be based off that show. So it's kind of surprising to see that logo. Regardless, it's really cool. And again, maybe that's hinting that we'll get more Clone Wars-esque sets throughout 2023. Here's hoping. I also have to mention that there's an error on this box, both the front and back actually, where the clone trooper with the antenna, which is the 501st officer, actually has the antenna where technically it should be, but it's not where the proper hole where it actually connects on the helmet is. I actually brought this up with the LEGO Star Wars team back in September when I visited Bill in Denmark, the LEGO headquarters, where I was like, how come you guys didn't decide to put the holes down below and redesign the helmet? And they were like, oh, you know, it just would have interfered with accessories and we would have to redesign the accessories to make that work, redesign the helmet. And I was like, okay. But I must say it is very funny to see the antenna where it technically should be instead of the actual hole. Obviously, someone made an error and didn't catch it. I mean, I get it. It looks accurate, but man, it does leave a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth that I wish they just redesigned the Clone Trooper helmet so the holes would be in the proper place and not have like the double hole type of thing going on. A little unfortunate, but you know, this is the clone helmet that we're going with from here on out. It seems like we got it in the ATT, and probably going forward, we'll see it again in future Clone Trooper sets. So, I do want to thank LEGO for sending this set over for a review, and without ado, guys, let's go into the in-depth. So like the ATTE, you're getting accessories in blue for this battle pack, 4 antennas and 4 visors. And then on top of that, I wasn't expecting this, but you also get an extra pair of micro binoculars, 2 pairs. So that is really cool to see, as well as an extra pistol. First up is the 501st Officer. This figure looks good, but it does have a printed waist cape that you can only see from the front side. No side leg printing, no back leg printing or anything like that. So I do wish it was a real cloth for the Officer. Next, we have the Clone Specialist with his micro binoculars. This figure looks so good. It's basically a 501st Clone Trooper except for the 2 yellow markings on his torso and of course the blue arms as well. But overall, a really good looking figure. And then taking a look at those micro binoculars, you will see there's some extra detail on the top side, which is actually very accurate to the real micro binoculars that clone troopers use. Lastly, we have 2 clone troopers that are 501st heavy gunners, I believe, and they also have printed 1x1 tile backpacks. These backpacks we see a lot throughout the Clone Wars show, especially with like Ahsoka usually having bombs, or I think she even used that same backpack to house Rada the Hutt in the Clone Wars movie. Lastly, I just want to show what the new micro binoculars look like on 2 12th troopers compared to some Clone Army custom third-party micro binoculars as well. Now moving on to the heavy cannon that's included in this battle pack. It's a solid build. It reminds me of the OG like 2010 battle packs with clone troopers, especially the ARC Trooper battle pack. And it works very well. You have a big spring-loaded missile, and it does rotate a little bit, maybe like 20 degrees at max of rotation on it. It does have an area, obviously, to put a clone trooper, but it's not a normal seat. It instead holds the minifigure in with a panel piece, which I don't really like. I wish it was just a normal chair, but regardless, it works. And then lastly, you can float up the feet and take off the clear piece underneath if that's something you want to do. So for me, the biggest appeal in this battle pack is the fact that you can take these new helmets with the hole attachments and put them on previous 501st clone troopers and add micro binoculars or antennas or visors. All right, so coming off that, guys, obviously this is a really exciting battle pack because it is the return of clone troopers in a regular battle pack form. Obviously, we've had like the clone fighter tank and the 501st clone trooper set that we've gotten over the last 2 years. But now we have a just normal clone trooper battle pack finally back on shelves, and that is very exciting. Is this the perfect battle pack that I want? No, I definitely want plain clone troopers or clone troopers like just a normal 501st, 212th, 327th. I can go on about this all day. Just army buildable clone troopers that you can just buy like 20, 30, 50 of these battle packs and create a giant clone army. That's always a fun time. Sure, you can definitely go out and buy 10 plus of this battle pack, but it's not really that type of battle pack. These are clone troopers that you'd only want a couple of, not massive armies of. I don't know if that's a huge turnoff for some of you or all of you, or just maybe a little niche bit of you that is me, that I'm the little niche because I really like to build armies. I've always liked to do that for many, many years. That's what a lot of my YouTube channel started off of, was clone trooper army building. And so for me, this is a great battle pack, but it's, again, just not exactly what I want. But that doesn't mean it's a bad battle pack. That's kind of a tongue twister. I love the fact that we finally got micro binoculars. In fact, you get 2 of them in this battle pack, which was a nice little surprise. So you can use this on either other clone troopers in the set, or you can put them on the 212th clone troopers that you get in ATTE. Those have the new hole attachments. So that's just really cool. And that means you can recreate like the Umbara arc and all of that. And these clone trooper helmets, especially the officer and specialist, they have just normal 501st helmets, so you can swap those on the 501st clone troopers that we've gotten in the normal $30 set over the last 2-3 years. And then you can have regular 501st clone troopers, with helmet attachments, whether that's an antenna, a visor, or the micro binoculars. So I really like that you can customize your previous clone troopers with this set. That's very exciting. That's honestly the biggest plus with this. The actual set, the AV7 cannon, that's what this is at least based off of. I love it. I think it's great. It reminds me of the 2012 battle pack significantly, the ARC Troopers one with the Super Commandos. It's a solid set. There's a lot of good useful pieces, so if you don't want to make a billion of these, you can definitely make a lot of other things, or at least use these pieces in mocks, so that's always great to see. I like the printed backpacks on the heavy gunners. Obviously, it's a disappointment to see printed waistcapes. I get it. I don't even like putting waistcapes on, and I don't think kids would like it either. That is why LEGO is printing them on figures, especially at lower price points. Higher price point sets, you get an older kid or someone who's willing to, be a little more patient. That's why you're getting waistcapes on other figures. I get it. And personally, if I had like 10 of these, I wouldn't want to put 10 waistcapes on. It's definitely annoying, but regardless, it still is far more accurate than printing them on, at least by the way LEGO is printing them. So hopefully in the future, we'll see that change, where we'll go from printed waistcapes back to just normal waistcapes that we've gotten in previous battle packs over the past decade. So do I recommend the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack? Of course, it's a great set. I don't recommend really going out and buying a whole bunch of them, especially at that $20 retail price. While I think this is a fair price to pay, it still isn't like army building price in my opinion. Wait for it to come down to like $17 to $15 before you decide to go out and buy like 5 or more of this set. I'd say, day one, if you want to buy like 2 to 3, that makes sense. Don't go out and buy a whole bunch of them at retail. To me, I feel like you're not getting the greatest deal in the world. Well, thanks again to LEGO for sending this set over for review. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. LEGO is listening, guys. LEGO is very much listening to what YouTube and all these social media channels have to say about LEGO Star Wars. So if you don't like the clone troopers that are picked out in this battle pack, let them know down in the comments below so they can read it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.